Thanks for joining us again. Now, what's the latest there?
Well, we can confirm that the presidential or the deputy president's motorcade, that is Cyril Ramaphosa's motorcade, has just left the St. George's Hotel, followed by the motorcade of Ace Magashule. Remember that he is the Secretary General of the party, still uses the Free State number plate motorcade. So they have left the St. George's Hotel. And if you remember that it was Ace Magashule who confirmed to the SABC last week about the meeting that was taking place between President Jacob Zuma as well as President Cyril Ramaphosa. It says that he said that it was something that he was actually facilitating, and it was part of that first meeting that took place. And he was part of that meeting towards the end of the meeting, if I'm not mistaken. That's what he indicated. That meeting that was described as fruitful and constructive, and now we have them leaving the St. George's Hotel. It's the first, I guess, major movement that we're seeing since 9 o'clock this morning, when the presidential motorcade arrived here. Cyril Ramaphosa arrived in the early hours of this morning, round about 9 o'clock this morning, and now leaving for the first time. Some sort of development, but a lot of speculation, of course, about where exactly it is that they'll be heading to. Would they be heading to Mahlabandlovu, the presidential guest house, to deliver a message to President Jacob Zuma about a decision that must have been taken by the NEC, and what would the next development be from here on?
Aldrin, speaking of developments, what can we exactly read from this departure of Ace Magashule, but most importantly, ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa? Has the meeting been adjourned, or is it a case of us waiting to see that the rest also leave?
It's still unclear whether the meeting has adjourned because we only have those two convoys that have left as it stands at this point. A lot of cars still inside the St. George's Hotel yard. Those people haven't left, and of course you know that they also travel. Most of the NEC members, who are also members of Parliament as well as ministers, they also have their own special convoys and so forth. Those people have not left as it stands, and we've been trying to make contact with some of our sources, but unfortunately their phones are still off. Remember that when the NEC meetings do sit down, all NEC members must take out their phones and put their phones in envelopes, switch them off, and the meeting is then locked, and they discuss whatever they need to discuss with regards to what's on the agenda. And the major thing that was on the agenda today is, of course, the future of President Jacob Zuma.
Aldrin, we'll have to leave it there for now, but we're waiting with bated breath, and we'll definitely be crossing to you as we burn the midnight oil together. That was our reporter Aldrin Sampier joining us outside the St. George's Hotel, where that ANC-NEC meeting has been underway. He mentioned to us that ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa as well as Ace Magashule's motorcades have now left, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not that meeting has been adjourned and who else leaves and what the outcome of that meeting is. We'll definitely